Well, last month, a New York Times investigation into sexual assault allegations surrounding labor leader Cesar Chavez left a lasting impact on communities all over. I sat down with one of the journalists behind that reporting who tells me how she and others spent months, even years, working to bring these stories to light.
So long, they thought no one would believe them, because who are they?
For investigative reporter Sarah Hertz, this story started with a call, one that would lead to months of reporting and years of work before that.
I was approached by Manny Fernandez, who is the editor-at-large of the California desk for the New York Times.
The investigation itself dates back to 2021 after a tip from historian and Dartmouth professor Matthew Garcia sparked questions about allegations that had never been fully examined. But bringing those claims to the public would take time.
Of course, it just took months and months to not only gain their trust to have their stories, but corroborate it.
Hertz says much of that time was spent building trust with women who had never spoken publicly. While they worked to build that trust, they spoke with dozens of other people, from top Chavez aides to family, all while digging through archives, personal letters, and records across the country.
What we didn't know is whether we could gain the trust and access to these women and whether they would want to share their stories with us.
As the reporting developed, so did the weight of the story. Chavez, a figure long seen as a symbol of the farm worker movement, now at the center of serious allegations, accused of sexually assaulting women, some minors at the time, and even fellow activist Dolores Huerta.
The difficulty was being able to tell their stories without necessarily throwing away the whole movement.
While the findings shocked many, Hertz says there were signs even decades ago.
Cesar had already been established as a complicated, complex character. Now, his relationships with underage girls was indeed known by several people, but it wasn't a huge open secret in the entire community. To say that would be unfair. But did several people know? Yeah, absolutely.
Since the story's publication, Hertz says reaction has been swift, with some communities reassessing how Chavez is remembered. For her, though, the focus is on the women who shared their experiences.
I mean, I think the response has been overwhelmingly in support of those who have been wronged.
Still, questions remain why these stories are emerging now. Hertz says this is not about changing history, but bringing another side to light.
I don't think there's an expiration date as to knowing the truth.
For the women who chose to speak out, Hertz says sharing their stories has brought a sense of relief after years of silence.
The women overall feel some sort of relief and freedom from having shared their stories.
And as communities across the Central Valley continue to process their reporting, Hertz says the focus should remain on the people who built the farm worker movement. Now, the reporting continues to spark conversation, from how this history is taught to how Cesar Chavez's legacy will be remembered going forward.